For this tutorial, you'll need the following clay colors I have here. That one on the far right is black before the yellow, if you can't tell. I didn't do my little intro spiel like I usually do before this because the Susie sculpture is already sold. Yay! Anyways, we're going to start with the plum purple first, and you're going to roll out a ball that's at least 1 inch in diameter, and then roll that ball into a teardrop shape. I'm keeping up with the healthiness, counting calories and drinking water. Water's part of a daily diet. Then just cut off the bottom and the top. Try to make it the same size as all the previous ones if you made Rousey and Chris as well. Next we're moving on to the fuchsia. We're going to roll all of these 4 balls that you see here. We're not going to use all of them right now, but we're going to start with the one that's on the very bottom right. Don't look at my really bad nails, I need to repaint. And we're going to roll this one into a teardrop shape too. The usual. And then you're just going to cut this in half, and we're only going to use the bottom part where the round part is. The little cone piece you can stick back on your block of clay. Then just stick it together, make sure that it fits, and before you completely stick it together, pull it off and flatten it by pressing it against your work surface so that it'll sit flat. Then you can reattach it and just roll it between your fingers to blend it kind of seamlessly like this. And for now, we're done with that, so we're going to go on to the black. We're going to be moving around with colors a lot, but this was one of the harder tutorials, so just stick with me here. We're going to go ahead and roll out 6 different balls in black. This is all the ones you will need. We might not use all of them right now, but set the other ones to the side, just like we did with the fuchsia. We're going to start with the one in the middle, and we're going to put this into a clay extruder to make the little pieces I need. This is a little square shape. But you don't have to do this, you can just cut out the rectangular shapes that you need. But I just found this easier to make the belt, which is what I did, wrapped it around and then cut off the excess. That way we have her belt. And then just cut off 2 more small rectangles for her cufflinks to go around her wrists, just like this. And just go ahead and set these to the side for now because we haven't made our arms yet. Next we're going to go on to the big ball at the top, and this is going to be her jacket, the base of her jacket, so you're going to take it and roll it out flat with some kind of tool. After you rolled it out flat, just cut off the top, the bottom, and cut off the left and right side as an angle. Just like this, obviously. Then just wrap it around the torso and make sure it fits nicely. I like the way this fits, so it was perfect. I don't usually get things in one go, it usually takes 10 times. Y'all just see the perfect part of it. Next, we're going to take these 2 black balls at the top. These are going to be the sleeves, so we're going to roll these into really chubby teardrop shapes. And then you're just going to cut off the bottoms and cut off the sides at a bias. One from the top to the bottom left and one from the top to the bottom right. Then where the bias is, just stick it on the torso so it'll look just like this. That might be a little bit hard, so pause it if you need to kind of collect your thoughts. Next, we're going to take the other 2 balls of clay and we're going to roll these into long teardrop shapes. Then just take it, hold it with your index and thumb and press it upward with your other index finger so it makes it look like a foot. Then take it, set it on the work surface and press it down so it's flat on the bottom. And then I just stood it up so I could push the foot against the work surface to make sure that's flat too. And then you just cut it off to the length that you would like. I did make this a little bit shorter, so, don't be too crazy about it. We gotta put the pants on, too. And then just repeat that process for the second one, and you have both of her feet/shoes. Next, we're going on to the lilac colored clay. This is also regular Sculpey. It's just some of those packs in the stores look faded like that. You're gonna need 3 balls of clay, one that's about 1 inch, and the other 2 are about 1/2 inch in diameter. I don't know why this... Oh, we're going to start with the big ball. I thought it picture repeated. This is going to be her head. Just roll it between your index and thumb at the top so it becomes more narrow towards the top. Lay it out on your work surface, and on the narrow side, press down to indent for her eyes. You know where your face dips where your eyes are and your nose? Just like that. Then she kind of has like an alligator-like snout, so just roll it between your fingers back and forth to give it a point. And once you get it to a shape that you like, you can just leave it right there. This is the shape that I like. It didn't have to be super pointy. Just use a reference photo, as I always say. Then I just stuck a metal wire it into her whole torso and lift some out for the head for support. Next, we're going to go on to the other two balls that we made, and these are going to be her arms. Like I said, we hadn't made them yet. Then we're going to roll these into long teardrop shapes. I was going to make her holding her axe, but it would have been a whole lot more complicated, so I just made her punching her fist. So this is one of her hands. Just do the same thing you did with the foot, and then just cut off the excess. Make it at a bent angle so it looks like her arm is bent. And then I use the dotting tool to indent for her fingers. And you'll see what I mean right here. How the arm is bent at an angle. And the other one is going to be in a fist shape. So you're going to... Well, before you do that, like I said, I'm kind of going back and forth in this tutorial. I went on ahead and put on the cuff links. Just wrapped around the black part and cut off the excess. Here is the other fist, the right fist. I indented for the fingers and then just cut off the excess. Excess, not access. Oh my god. And then I just bent this one just like the other one at an angle. Just so it looked like it's punching the palm of her fist. And then I put on the extra cuff link and cut off the excess. And then I just went on ahead and attached it to her body. You can use glue to attach the arms now. And this is what it looked like. Very cute, am I right? I love it. Next, we're going to go on to the yellow color clay. This is going to be for her belt and the soles of her shoes. I think I'm just going to do the belt part right here. We'll come back to the soles later. Just take one itty bitty ball. It doesn't have to be very big. I can't talk tonight. And roll it out flat, but manageably flat. You don't want it to be too thin or it'll fall apart. Cut that ball, and well, that rolled out ball into a square shape. And then you're going to cut two little corners off the bottom right, so it kind of looks like a square skull right here. And then after that, I just cut into the bottom part of it, cut two lines going upward, and then I'm going to cut across at the top of those so that it disconnects. Again, use a reference photo in the other tab. And then I just went on ahead and glued it right to the belt. Or you might not need glue here, you could probably just stick it. I just stuck it on there. Now we're finally going to go back to the fuchsia balls. These are her hair. That's why we had to wait till we had the head. We're going to start with the smallest one towards, well, the medium-sized one towards the front. And I'm not sure why this photo is right here. Oh, I cut that ball in half, excuse me, and rolled it into two smaller balls. And then rolled these into two narrow teardrop shapes. And then I cut them off on an angle. And these are going to be her legs. And repeat with the same with the other teardrop, and then I just attach it to the body, like so. See, this is what I was saying about the boots. Don't make them too long because you still have to attach them to the leg. Next, I'm going to go on to the larger ball right here, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut this one. I think I cut it in half is what it looks like. I don't even know what I'm doing. I was working on this tutorial for a long time. Then I just rolled that into a ball, one of the halves into a ball, and then I just flattened it out with the palm of my hand. And once I flattened it out, it looked just like this. Then after I did that, what did I do? I took the other ball that I'd cut off, the other piece that I'd cut in half, and I rolled this into a ball and then rolled it into a teardrop shape, like so. Again, this is still just her hair. Then the teardrop shape, you take it and press it against your work surface as well. Not rolled into a ball, just as the teardrop shape. And it'll come out looking just like this. Now we need to connect these two pieces to make the back of her hair. So you're going to cut the bottom of the ball off and the top of the teardrop off. Just like so. And make sure they line up perfectly like a puzzle piece. And this is going to be the hardest part. You're going to stick them together and blend them together. This will take a while, but be patient and it'll all be worth it. Once you get them blended together, just cut out 3 triangles at the bottom to make the points of her hair. She has 4 points. Well, she might have a little bit more, but that's what I went with. Then I just stuck the flattened part against her head and made sure to smooth it into the head so it will stay attached. Now we're going back onto that last ball we had, the real small one. And you're going to roll this into a chubby teardrop shape like this. And then again, we're going to take it and press it against our work surface. Don't press it until it's flat. Just gently press it. And after you do that, it's going to look just like this. These are going to be her bangs. So at the top, you're going to want to cut it flat. So just cut the top off with an X-Acto blade or long blade or something. Then I just cut out the triangles to make it look like her bangs. Again, use a reference photo, but this is roughly how her bangs look. The bigger part will be going to where her eye is showing, so I just spread that apart. Then you just stick it on the head like so, and very gently blend that part into the top of the head. As you can see, it was still a little unblended here, but I just kept rubbing it with my fingers and I got it all blended. Then I just went on ahead and took my X-Acto blade and indented on her face about to make her mouth kind of like smiling to the side. Then I used my little pointed rubbery tool there to indent for her nostrils. Now we're going to make the soles of her shoes, which I realized I forgot. This was not intentional, I just forgot it. Roll out 2 tiny balls of clay and then just flatten them out like so and make them look kind of oval shape. And then just cut lines into it like so, and then attach it to the bottom of her shoes. Ta-da! And now we're done. All you gotta do is take your rubbing alcohol and clean off all of the lilac, especially the light purple, but clean off any dust or particles like that. I only used 2 cotton swabs. I'm getting better and better at this, but you know, practice makes perfect. Then after that, I chose what kind of eye I wanted to make for her. You don't have to put an eye, or you can put an eye, or you can make a clay eye. It's all up to you. But if you use a plastic bead, take it out before baking. And I'm just baking it on a metal pan and a gas oven, 350 degrees for 12 minutes, the usual. Then I took my glue, and after it's dried and cooled completely, and glued the eye into the head. Then I took black acrylic paint, and I'm going to use this to dot her freckles, because in some scenes you can see that she has 3 freckles on both sides. Like, usually when she's talking during the dialogue. Next, we need yellow and purple, so I'm just going to use this set here that I got from Walmart. Excuse me. And these are the colors that I chose to use. I'm having a rough night with allergies. Then I used the purple to paint a wooden base so that she can sit on that nice and flat. And I used the yellow to dot the spikes on her cufflinks and stuff. It's just easier that way. You can make spikes, but it's going to take a lot more time. Then I glued it with E6000 to the board. After that's dry, you can get your polyurethane floor varnish and glaze her up. 2 to 3 coats will do it good. And here we go. That's the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this very, very much as I did, because I love how she came out. And I love how the rest of the gang came out too, which I'll show you a picture right here. Stay tuned next time for Lancer. Bye-bye, my bunnies.